Welcome to the party. I'm Sam Ekstrom. Who's ready to get their guts ripped out of their body tonight?
Me. Hi. It's Arif from the Wide Left Substack. Time game. No, crap. God.
I'm Luke Braun of Locked On Vikings. These fires cannot kill me, but the Vikings certainly can.
What's going on? Luke Inman on X at Luke_Spinman. Let's look into our crystal balls. Let's hand out some hot, fiery predictions on today's show. What do you say?
Locked On Sports Minnesota Podcasts. It's endless Minnesota Vikings talk with the diverse voices of your local experts. It's time for the Minnesota Football Party. It's your guys hanging out talking next level Vikings football. So join in with Arif Hasan, Locked On Vikings Luke Braun, Superior Sports Talks Luke Inman, and Vikings insider Sam Ekstrom, plus the biggest names in Minnesota football for the Minnesota Football Party. And it starts now.
Hello, welcome in. It is a playoff game day edition of the Minnesota Football Party on Locked On Sports Minnesota. So glad you've joined us. Vikings Rams talk for the next hour. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen of this Monday. And for your second one, please check out Luke Braun's Locked On Vikings and find our audio on the Locked On Vikings podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts. Crystal ball edition of the show today. We will give out the game balls before the game is played today. We've got specific predictions for tonight. Will the Vikings show us anything new in the game plan as they take on the Rams? What do we think of a potential Philly matchup looming on the horizon next week? And we'll review our parlays for tonight. The new gambling contest begins. We are presented today by FanDuel. New customers place a $5 bet. Get started with $200 in bonus bets if you win or lose your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. All right, Luke Braun was going to go to this game. He is not going to this game now that it's in Arizona, but he is safely checking in from the greater Los Angeles area. Luke Braun, you good?
Yep. Emotionally, no. And I won't be all day, but that was to be expected.
Fantastic.
Got it. Arif loves that. Arif's on location as well. Arif checking in. What's taking the temperature all around? Like Luke Braun's got the jitters. How about you?
I'm at peace with how doomed I am. Does that count?
Yeah, you've accepted your fate, and
Yeah.
that's a good way to go when you know. Yeah, you're comfortable being uncomfortable, in a sense.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
Got it. Luke Inman, where are we at?
Yeah, I'm with Arif. You can't hurt me at this point, okay? I've been through it all. We've seen it all.
we've
All right,
seen
we're
it all.
hardwired this way. It's in our DNA.
A wild
at this
card game?
point.
Yeah, you can't.
Just happy to be here, Sam. Just happy to be here.
Felt more jittery last week, to be honest with you. It felt like
did.
last week you win that game, you're staring the Super Bowl in the face. Like you've got such a good chance to be in that game, and now
it's real. It's all real if you win that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like you have to defy the odds. You have to be kind of an underdog on this path.
Going to Philly, going to Detroit.
Yeah,
Then it's the Super Bowl. Is it Lamar? Is it Josh Allen? Is it Mahomes? Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's going to feel huge if you win tonight. And then you've got to go to Philly. And then you've got to go probably to Detroit. And then it's like, Mahomes or Lamar, the MVP maybe in the Super Bowl. Lamar looks pretty unstoppable. It's going to be a tough path. It starts tonight, Vikings and Rams. Let's go into our crystal ball and give out a game ball. Let's give out the game ball speech. We've done this at times throughout the year. You can be McVay if you want to be negative, or you can be KOC. Let's hear the game ball speech after the game. Who's going to get it and why? Let's go with Luke Braun.
Well, I'll definitely be KOC. I mean, come on now.
Come on now.
Come on.
We'll give one out, win or lose.
For the
Game balls if we lose, game balls if we win. Everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah,
Ziggy.
everybody gets a trophy. I could see him saying something like, you've been our superstar for 5 years, never won a playoff game until today. Justin Jefferson, come over here.
Good. Oh, that is good. That is good. I looked up some wide receiver playoff wins for a nerdy stat. Didn't really come up with anything dramatic, so I'm not going to use it. But I did want to see the context in which like a receiver of his caliber has not won a playoff game.
I feel like there's been quite a few of those. Like Andre Johnson suffered for a while.
He had 2. Andre Johnson had 2 playoff wins in his
He
career.
got him late though, right? In his career?
Probably. I don't know who the quarterback was at that point.
Calvin Johnson famously.
Different team, right? Yeah, like Chris Carter had 4. And I think it was like 1 each, 97, 98, 99, 2000. Moss with the Vikings only had what? 1, 2, 3, I think 4 as well. So yeah, it does not always come in bunches. Arif Hasan, give out a game ball.
Yeah. Probably again, KOC, right? Something along the lines of, it's been tough. You know, it's a difficult position to play. We know that you've been powering through since your injury, but you kicked the game-winning field goal, game ball, Will Reichert.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go.
Please don't make this come down to a Will Riker kick. I can't do that. I can't, even if you make, I can't survive that.
Even us Vikings fans can't survive.
I can't do that, man.
Particularly
What if it's a 27-yarder?
I'm just going to pause it and I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to pause it and I'm going to walk away.
Yeah. No, if that happens, I'm like, my YouTube TV is behind Twitter. I'm going on Twitter. I'm getting that spoiled. I can't.
So, does anybody remember?
I do that for about half of field goals.
The earliest TiVo commercials. This is when pausing live TV was a radical concept. One of the first TiVo commercials was a guy watching a football game-winning field goal about to happen. He pauses the game to pray and then hits play. And that was them demonstrating like, wow, you can pause live television. I remember it distinctly. And people probably do that to this date. Braun will be doing it tonight.
I can't imagine elongating the suspense. Oh my God, I want to know immediately.
Also, so like some issues with causality there, I think. But, you know, the way that the forward progress of time marches on. But yeah, it's fine. Go ahead.
Well,
Pray
God works in
wild
mysterious
kick
ways.
Sure.
Inman, give out a game ball.
Well, you know, I think we've all been sitting here patiently waiting for that blow-up game, the monster game from this dude. We've seen it multiple times, double-digit catches last year versus the Saints, versus the Niners. We saw the impact this guy had the first week he got here in Washington in 2022. We know the X factor this guy can be when he's healthy and things are clicking. I know it's been a grind, a slow, methodical process bringing him back from that gruesome injury, but you know, for me, I just knew the potential was there this week. I sat and watched all the film with Sling and Sammy, and we said, this guy is getting open. It's been 2 months, okay? He's up to full speed, right? But TJ Hawkinson, man, you are something special, man. We knew that bubble was about to pop, and it did today. He was open all week last week, and he did the same today. You know, the Rams allow the second most receptions to tight ends in the league, by the way, at 6.2 per game. I really do think TJ Hawkinson, we've been waiting for this monster game for TJ. We've seen him do it before. We know he can do it. He was open last week. We talked about that, in the post game and on the football party last week. I'm really thinking TJ finally has that blow up game tonight.
It was there last week.
It was there. It was
there.
Yeah,
100%.
The same thing. Yeah.
I'm being told that we have breaking news from our producer.
Yeah, we got to play a sound. Yeah,
we got to play the sound. Official, Mike McCarthy is out as Cowboys head coach. The sides could not agree on the length of a contract, and McCarthy will pursue other opportunities.
It's looking more and more like Brian Flores is back for another year, guys. He's won.
Not this opening?
He is, so it
you think after Ben Johnson leaves the Bears at the altar, he's not going to take that job?
Oh, wow. Okay.
McCarthy very well could fill another opening, so it does even out in that sense. But we're at 2 interviews for Flores, and are they both the 2 franchises that are interviewing 15 guys?
Maybe.
I think it starts with Ben Johnson, right? A lot of people are trying to get Ben Johnson.
Yeah, he's kind of the first domino, possibly.
Is he going to stick around and say, you know what, I got a good setup here in Detroit? He's done it before, right? Or is he going to go, obviously knock that first domino?
Now he's actually taking interviews. Like before,
he's like flying around to him, and the money has increased.
Right.
I think he did the right thing waiting a year and made himself some cash.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he played that card well.
He did.
Luke, and I think
Yeah,
he's now
outstanding.
now at the point where, he's ready to
I will say this, Sam, about Brian Flores. So I don't actually know kind of what the whole roster of coaches that those other teams have interviewed are. But he is maybe the last guy I would make a Rooney Rule interview. I feel like that's maybe the stupidest thing on the planet that you could possibly do.
Showing up hungover to his interview, it just feels like, come on.
Yeah,
Just
like that's what the lawsuit is about. So I think that any interviews he's received are probably genuine because I'm not going to screw around with that guy.
Like, just bring in Aaron Glenn and be done with the thing. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to poke that bear.
Well, Aaron Glenn, I think he turned down the Patriots interview because it was clear they were hiring Mike Vrabel, but the Patriots had to interview two minority candidates, so they interviewed like Byron Leftwich and some other guy that has not been
Someone
coaching
else.
for the past 2 years. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good system.
yeah.
It's working. That's what it.
Yeah.
That's representation.
Yeah, that's the representation people were asking for sure.
Yes, and racism, as every end zone says.
Yeah,
I wonder.
yeah.
if
Pep Hamilton, Aiden Conklin got it. Pep Hamilton, former like Stanford offense coordinator, USFL guide.
interviews with Jets, Bears, and Jaguars for Flores. Correct. I'm
Jets,
not
Bears, and
forgetting one.
Jaguars.
I wonder about the Jaguars
I
job.
wonder what the Jets. Ugh.
Would you feel safe stepping on Shad Khan's yacht in the middle of the river?
Not
When you put it like
necessarily.
that, no, but like
No.
generally,
yeah.
You got to
When
go
we
to
were in
work.
Jacksonville,
I
we
was
walked by
before
it.
you said it like that. Before you painted
Right.
it like that, like I was fine. And now all of a sudden
when we
I'm
were in
looking around like,
Jacksonville-
where am I?
My dad and I went to the game in Jacksonville, and we our hotel was across the river from the stadium, so we like walked across, and we his boat was like right there, and it looked like riverboat casino style, and you could like
Wow.
see into it, and you could see like suits having meetings.
Wow.
It was like, wow, like
that sounds
they're
exciting.
rolling right now. They got to be.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, it's a place where Trent Baalke has all the power. I don't want to set foot there.
well, okay. I mean, like within that context, no, but it's just like abstractly, a yacht is fine for me. I like that generally.
Yeah, it's, you're on a boat on the river, and you don't control where it goes. I'm just
Do
saying.
you get the impression though
Look,
that Flores
same
is
to
going to
Jets.
turn down
We're
a job
all in
offer?
boats on rivers, man.
I don't think Flores is saying no with the way.
No, I'm
that-
just making fun of the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Oh,
which is my
okay.
right. 'cause
I
they
mean,
suck.
that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
I got to give out a game ball, and I've got it. I've already. I can hear it in my head resonating. I've known this guy for a long time. He used to play for those guys, and this game meant a little more to him.
Johnny
Battled
Mullen,
through the flu, couldn't eat over the
yeah.
weekend, couldn't stand.
Brandon Powell.
There's a reason
No.
why we traded for this guy twice.
DNP with
Cam
illness.
Cam.
Oh, Cam
What
Akers.
does he do
Okay.
against his old team? He brings the juice, finds the end zone for us in a big moment. Cam Akers.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do the crowd sounds. That's great.
Um,
Water
Sam definitely
bottles?
has
We
the,
doing water
the best
bottles on
KOC
Cam?
impression of all of us.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yours is pretty good, Luke.
Oh well.
I think not yours.
Oh.
Other Luke.
Braun underselling
No, not.
himself.
No, not. Calm down.
See, I don't have the same like passionate cadence. Sam nails it.
Well, it's tough unless like I got to do the pace back and forth.
Yeah.
Like there's a
You gotta
rhythm.
have the ball.
There's a rhythm. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a rhythm to it, right? When you're walking back and forth, you can just kind of get into character a little bit more and get those cadences down. But yeah, Sam just sitting in the chair. Yeah, he's got us beat.
I've got a few other things that I suspect are going to happen tonight. They're not all good. One of them
good.
is how
boy.
dumb a field goal can the Vikings give up before halftime? Like how much time, how little amount of time will be on the clock?
22 seconds, one timeout. They started their own 25. How does that even happen? We'll find out.
2 plays,
Yeah,
the field
like
goal
a
range.
Patrick Mahomes against the Bills esque,
61 yarder.
and they'll give it up one play and a timeout, like at the end of the Bears game.
Sam, not to veer too far, did you watch the T-Wolves Grizzlies game the other night? Because the Grizzlies, they hit back-to-back quarter ending, 1 second left on the clock in the first and second quarter, and Grizzlies just, here's 2 free points, here's 3 free points, no big deal. And the T-Wolves lost by 2, and you think back to that, and it's like, just makes me think, okay, yeah, you got to pay attention. You got to know what you're doing here.
The only thing I know about that game
Minnesota
is
sports.
the only thing I know about that game is that multiple basketball writers are like, this is the most complete game the Timberwolves have played all year. To realize now that it ended in a loss is fantastic.
Yep, lost by 2 points.
Yeah.
127-125.
My only exposure to the Wolves.
Frustrating, dude.
My only exposure to the Wolves is like what I see people saying about the Wolves, and I'm going to be honest, I would probably go 500 in guessing if they won or lost whatever game.
It is tough.
It's all over the map this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of moral victories and moral defeats alternating.
That's
it's
I
a
love that.
roller
I love that.
Yeah. Total the
And
equivalent
so hot
of,
and cold.
I feel
they win
so
3 in a
at
row,
home
they
with
lose
that.
3 in a row. They win 2 in a row, they lose 2 in a row. Hot and cold all year.
Yeah, the equivalent of that Grizzlies game, if it plays out tonight, it would be like holding down Puka to like 1 catch for 5 yards until the final drive when he gets like a couple of huge third down conversions and then sets him up for a field goal. I don't know about their kicker, by the way. I feel like he could be
Hardy?
Yeah, I feel like he's inconsistent enough. I'm going to count on him for a miss. So maybe they get in position for that halftime field
I'm going
goal.
to rely on
and
him
then
for
he
a
screws
miss.
it up.
Well, now he's not gonna.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're bowing now.
Maybe they just won't get in position for the field goal at halftime. Maybe
So
that's
what are you thinking? Every
There you
like
go.
4th and 4 or less, they're just going to go for these inside the 50, obviously. Not
The
not
Rams
their
or
own
the Vikes?
territory. Rams with
Yes.
their kicker. Yeah.
McVay's not a gambler, right? I mean, McVay has become this like run the ball, heavy set, let's take the points kind of coach.
I
That's
guess
different than like the 4th down decision making, though.
The Rams have been like conservative schematically. Like they run cover 2, like all the versions of cover 2 is like their favorite thing. 2-man, Tampa 2, regular 2. They love cover 2.
Regular.
What do you guys make of these last
vanilla
throw
is a
out
bad one.
throw out week 18, right? They rest all the starters, but the last 3 games with all the starters, they scored 3 offensive touchdowns. Earlier in the year, say mid-season, this offense was clicking. What do you like? Which offense are we going to see tonight? Or are we going to see these last 3 weeks where Niners game they won 12-6? That was in the pouring rain. Maybe you want to throw that one out. At New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers they won 19-9. It was very cold, very windy. Maybe you want to throw that one out too. I don't know, but if you had to pick one or the other, are we going to see that more mid-season Rams offense, or are we going to see
Jeremy's
what we've seen
got
the
it in
last
the
3
chat.
weeks?
Listen to Locked On Vikings this morning for an incredibly detailed breakdown of exactly this, as well as patreon.com/LukeBraun NFL if you want video. The couple things that I noticed doing all that. One, Stafford's reacting earlier to pressure. Like when it comes, he's trying to get rid of the ball early on pressure, but like he has more time than he's using. So it's like he's like rushing it a little bit. And that is making him throw off platform, which he's Stafford. He's always thrown off platform, but I think he might be losing that fastball a little bit. And those aren't as accurate as they maybe once were, even earlier this year. And so they've been one hopping, they've been going high. He's been trying to like fit into tight windows on the run, like against Arizona in particular, fitting into tight windows on the run. That's like vintage Stafford, but it's like just a touch slower than he thought. And he almost threw a couple interceptions in the red zone. And I think if you can even just push the pocket, you don't even have to like generate a free rusher and get a whole thing. Like if you can just push the pocket a little bit, Jonathan Bullard style, and get him to feel like there's a guy in his lap, you might get him to abandon his feet, and then balls can start to spray on you.
Get him a little restless. And we all know in the playoffs too, turnover. I mean, not to go chalky, turnovers are huge, and we saw it last week with Darnold.
Sure.
If some of those passes for either quarterback start going high, and somebody gets their hands on these tip balls go up. Obviously, again, just a turnover or two for either side could make a huge difference. So
I don't want to overlook that. Like a lot of the Rams players and staff members like got evacuated this week, and like had to like load their cat and their family onto that plane to get out of LA, and like don't know what's going to happen to their house. Like these players are pretty good at compartmentalizing. but I gotta think that that's weighing on you. It's like that's a pretty freaky thing.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's
Emotionally,
like a lot.
mentally, it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you read that the Rams are taking the visitors' locker room intentionally and then sticking the Vikings in their auxiliary third locker room?
So no one's
I
using
didn't realize the
home
like
locker room?
auxiliary third.
Yeah, when I read the word auxiliary, I wasn't sure what that meant. I think it means backup locker room. I don't think it means the main locker room. They don't want the Vikings to have the
There's
best
a
locker room.
backup, like
There's a
full-sized third locker room, or is it like
Yeah.
Okay, but like, why can they do that? I'm sorry, I'm just like so lost.
I think
if
they
you're
get
the
to, as the
right?
home
Vikes-
team, they get to choose their locker room.
Okay,
So
but
they
if
can
you're
do the
Vikes-
visitors, which I get because like that's the one you're used to. But why are they sticking?
No,
the
if you're the
Vikings there,
Vikes,
then?
why can't you just be
Right.
like, well, I'm not going in that lot. This one's empty. Oh, we're going in there.
Yeah.
Then.
go in the home
Stop
one,
us.
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, right. Like,
I
that's
don't
a-
really get that. And I also don't get why it exists.
Yeah, a third locker. Yeah, I don't know.
Like in case one floods, like someone backs up the toilet or what?
Yeah, like a third locker room that can support a football team.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
doesn't
like a
make
whole
sense to
football
me.
team. Like, I understand having additional locker rooms for different kinds of like support staff.
Yeah,
But this is
concerts.
a football team's locker room.
Yeah,
They
do the
just have
Vikings
another
have a
one.
third locker room? Do the Vikings have this at the bank?
U.S. Bank has everything. We have to assume.
True.
What if in
I
theory,
see SoFi having a third one, like in case of, like what if both the Chargers and Rams got like home playoff games the same week or something like that, or the same day even because it's
Yeah.
conference championships or something.
now think about
The
this.
schedule around
Like
the same
high
spread.
school football championships at US Bank Stadium, you got game after game after game. You would need backup locker rooms for all those teams. Maybe that's why. Maybe
Maybe it's for high
tournament-
school.
tournaments.
Well, okay, sure. I understand. Like, okay, they have a full backup locker room for like a 53-man to 90-man roster, but like, I don't understand how if they choose the visitors' locker room, that forces the Vikings the auxiliary. Like, that's like crazy to me that they can choose the second locker room as well.
Jim, who may have intel, auxiliary locker room is the same layout as the visitor one.
Okay, so it's not like meaningfully.
No way to
worse.
fact
Okay.
check that. I believe you.
Thanks, Jim. We'll assume it's not meaningfully different. It's not worse. That the seats aren't cracked. That
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody does a
someone's-
pregame interview, like Reggie Wilson, Care 11, and all the
It's gonna
guys
look
are
like
just
Bud
right
Grant
next
after
to
the
each
Super
other.
Bowl in like a
Reggie
wood
has
shed.
to like duck in there, like the ceiling.
All
is
right,
that-
yeah.
Yeah, all
It's
the-
leaking.
all the-
There's water. There's rusty
Yeah.
water leaking down.
all the
Yeah.
nails are
Floorboards
capped
coming
in.
up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. All the intangibles just going against the Vikes. And, one of them is like very legitimate, the galvanizing around the tragedy in the city. But then you've got the bulletin board material with Campbell saying see you in 2
that's
weeks.
whatever.
and-
That doesn't apply now though. Like
Yeah,
it kind of
that's
lost
out.
its teeth because
Yeah,
needed,
because
like
it's
that was
impossible. Right.
Campbell was putting down a 3-game parlay in that.
Yeah, he was.
Hey,
Like he needed
Well, okay, but
he
like,
needed the Packers to win.
you gotta
he
like
had me
again, this
convinced.
is-
I thought he knew it was scripted. I thought it was all
Or he needed
scripted.
the Bucks.
you
to
got
win.
you got to understand the
The
way
Eagles.
Dan Campbell's mind works is that he thinks a thing and then he does it, right? He just happens
Yes.
to be on the right track most of the time. Again, he's not consulting spreadsheets for these fourth downs. He's like, I want to hurt someone. I feel like I could do that better on fourth down if I go for it than if I kick it. That's like his
Yeah.
philosophy. And so he's not gaming out the play. I bet he doesn't even know how reseeding works, right? He's not gaming out the playoffs. He's just like,
Yeah.
See,
Can he even count to 7?
right? Yeah, exactly. Right. So he's like, oh, I just played against a team that I think is an extremely good team. I'm going to tell a coach I respect that we're going to see each other again because seeing each other again is an indication that they'll win their playoff games. We'll see each other. See you in 2 weeks. And then he doesn't think about it until a reporter in the press box, a couple days later asks about it. And he's like, I don't know. Wait, you can reseed? That's crazy.
Do you think if you asked him on that field after that game, hey, who are the Vikings playing next week? Do you think he would know?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I don't think he would have a
he
single
doesn't
idea.
care about playoff scenarios? That's like,
Like, I don't know.
why-
Seahawks make it? I don't know.
Yeah,
That's why he played everyone
He
against the
receives
Niners.
the information about who they're playing that week, and then he prepares, and that's his life. And I envy that.
Yeah, he didn't want to
Yeah.
figure out the scenarios, the ramifications of playing his guys in week 17. He just wanted to play football. Darn it. He didn't want to think about playoff ramifications. Nonsense. When we come back, quick pause, and then more predictions about this game. I'll tell you what dance Cam Bynum will do when the Vikings get a takeaway. All that coming up on the Minnesota Football Party. We are presented today by LinkedIn Jobs. Growing your small business in 2025 comes down to how well you can hire. Let's face it, better hires start with smarter insights. That's where LinkedIn comes in. With the strongest hiring data available, LinkedIn helps you identify the right candidates, giving you the confidence to make the best decisions for your business. When you use LinkedIn Jobs, it's a game changer. Small businesses wear a lot of hats. Every hire is crucial. Don't want to get it wrong. LinkedIn gets it. They help connect you with the best candidates. 72% of small businesses say LinkedIn has helped them find high-quality candidates. So hire smarter this year. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. We're also presented by Prize Picks, the best way to play daily fantasy sports, and it's playoff time. It is a great time to check out Prize Picks. Turn your sports opinions into cash with daily fantasy player projections. Put together your entry with more or less on player stats, and you can win 1,000 times your money. That's right, up to 1,000 times your money. You can put your entry together in less than 60 seconds. That's all it takes. I like the flex play. I'm rarely 5 for 5. I'm often 4 for 5, and I like getting paid, so the flex play is a nice way to go. PrizePicks has you covered with over 10 million members and billions, yes, billions in winnings. People love this platform for a reason. So check out some Sam Darnold passing yards. Check out Justin Jefferson receiving yards, or if you're me, Jalen Naylor receiving yards tonight. Put together that entry. Here's a special offer for Locked On NFL listeners. Download the app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's Prize Picks. Run your game. Full reaction to tonight's game, by the way, on the Ron Johnson Show tomorrow. Hopefully celebratory. Hopefully not a funeral, because I know Ron Johnson will have on the black suit, the dark sunglasses. That's how he rolls the day after the season ends. We don't want that. We don't want Ron Johnson in funeral garb tomorrow. More predictions for tonight's game. I think that this will be the antidote, the antithesis, I'm not sure what word I'm looking for, to the free 3 fiasco. If you remember, this was the free 3 game. This is what got Jordan Addison in social media hot water. I think he rectifies it with a big game tonight.
Didn't he go off for like $160 already once? I feel like that's...
But it's against the same team, Luke. There's a parallel. Come on, you got to see that.
But there's nothing to he didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing to rectify.
I do think big Jordan Addison game is a very good prediction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but without
if it's a cover 2 team
that Sam's putting together.
Yeah.
Grasping
if it's a cover 2 team, which the Rams are a cover 2 team, then that means that they're going to have a bracket on Jefferson all the time. If you put Addison on the same side, you can cut that guy in half, and they're going to prioritize Jefferson. So Addison's going to get all kinds of one-on-one opportunities, and sometimes not even against corners. I think he could absolutely go off if the Rams play their normal game here.
Yeah, I think this game, low-key, maybe has... What's the over-under? Anybody know, top of your head?
I would guess
44. I don't know.
44? 40
I'm guessing. Do you know the answer? I can look it up.
No, I don't know. I was just going to say, I think it's got the makings of a potential high-scoring shootout.
47.5.
47.5.
Whoa!
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I mean, two of the best offensive coaches
Someone
in the league.
doesn't believe in Brian Flores. All right, let's.
Well, two of the best offensive coaches in the league. Two, gunslingers at quarterback. Some of the best skill players though in the game. JJ, Puka, Addison, Sam. You just brought him up. Hawkinson. I talked about him earlier. Cooper Kupp. And when you think about the fact that it's in controlled climate in a dome, do or die scenario, I think they. it has the potential. They all lay it out on the line tonight, and we see some fireworks. I mean, the Rams defense, it's young. It can be had. I think the fact that Darisaw, I talked about this as well a lot, went out mid-game, and they had to shuffle that offensive line around like that on the fly. That had a huge ripple effect in the second half for them last time. I just don't think that's the case. Rams defense is in like the 20s, mid-20s, just overall on defense. We know the Vikings are susceptible to big plays as well. Yeah.
So everybody knows how to do that.
The Vikings know that Puka's going to play in this game, which is a huge advantage.
That's true too.
Yeah, as Brian Flores mentioned, that kind of threw us off.
Yeah.
People got so mad that he said that out loud. I was like, yeah, all right.
Did we not all understand? I thought this was known. Of course, yeah.
Would the Vikings consider going off trend and doing some shadowing of Puka? I wonder if that would be a move.
I don't even know how that would work with the way that defense is set up.
That's exactly why you would do it. Just to throw him a curveball.
They have played more man coverage lately, but I do think if you wanted to do that, it would be like a cover 3 like Mabel move, which is cover 3, but then it turns into man on like one side. You saw the Bears do that against Justin Jefferson in the first game in Soldier, and where he didn't do anything. And the problem is what happened to the Bears in that game, where everyone else can kind of go off. And as much as Cooper Kupp has not had the same year we're like used to him having, he's still not a potato. I think if you give him that good of an opportunity, he'd kill you.
Yeah, he's averaging 54 or something like that yards per game, and I just feel like that doesn't mean he can't get 95, right?
Yeah.
It's all there.
He's been very quiet. Again, the whole Rams offense has been very quiet the last 3 games. Not week 18 when they rested the starters, the 3 games before that. But yeah, you can't sleep on a guy like Cooper Kupp. Playoff time. It's playoffs now. I could see both coaches putting the ball in their quarterback's hands and saying, if we're going down, let's go down swinging here. And you can see a lot of chunk plays, shots down the field, because why not? Like do or die time. Let's try to maximize our best assets and best weapons. And obviously, again, both teams have some great skill players and 2 good quarterbacks as well. So I kind of like the over 47.5.
Yeah. I tend to think that we had a bit of a Jefferson tunnel vision problem last week, especially in the red zone. Last time we had that Jacksonville. The next week it came back, and Darnold was just so much more willing to toss the ball around to other targets. And I'm wondering if there's an overcorrection tonight where, and maybe it's the appropriate correction, but we see more of again, supporting the Addison premise, Hawkinson, Oliver, Sherfield, and get more guys involved. And then
this is
just
your Jalen Naylor game.
My Jalen Naylor game. I need him 5+ yards in the first quarter, 18.5 total. We'll get to that.
I totally forgot my insane parlay. So
we will review those at the end of the show. I also wanted to. Does anyone have a dance that you've been wanting Cam Bynum to break out? Because I feel like we're at the point where there's betting odds on what the celebration's going to be. I'm putting my money on Metellus and Bynum, just like a kind of a duo dance, not a group dance, and they do like the Grease, Travolta, and Olivia Newton-John. I think that's
they're all like 2000s Disney movie dances. Where are you getting this?
Yeah,
Bynum is an old call though.
Did you have a dream?
I have a call, but I don't know if they have it in them.
Yeah,
I don't know if this is quite right.
2000s movies. I have no idea where.
Well, white chicks.
How about a Britney routine?
A what?
Like Toxic, a Britney Spears routine.
God,
like from a music
Toxic
video.
would be incredible.
That would be great.
That'd be in the wheelhouse.
It'd be like Bye 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 has been done, but
aren't they all from movies? Am I missing something?
I mean, I'm thinking like from the music videos.
It's not. I mean, I understand where the dance comes, but I feel like all the
they've been movies or
dances
shows, right?
White
Movies,
Chick
shows.
movie,
movies or
Ray Gun.
No, yeah, just movies.
Ray Gun.
Yeah, Ray Gun.
Olympics meme.
Usher. He did an Usher, so maybe that leans more towards he could do.
Yes.
Okay. No, you're right. Yeah. So we've got a couple. Feels like because there's been multiple turnovers in a lot of these games. So one of them is a movie, and then the other one is maybe spontaneous. So you can get
I think they only really come with like one like real one, and then if they get more turnovers, they just like celebrate.
Yeah.
Did they mail it in against the Lions? Did they have a coordinated?
I was looking for it because I had the one turnover and I didn't see a celebration.
I think it was because Ivan Pace got it, and I don't know if he's been in the rehearsals. I don't know
Harry
if he's
got
ready for
one.
that.
Harry got the second.
Yeah,
Harry certainly is not going to be.
He doesn't.
Yes, but like I thought
How
when Harry,
great would that be, though?
I thought when Harry got it,
13 years
The
in.
High School Musical.
13 years in.
That would be
Harry, the
outstanding.
silent assassin. Finally, they peer pressure him to do one. He's so
but
uncomfortable when he's
I
doing
thought
it,
when
too.
Harry got it that Bynum and Metellus would do it for him.
Right.
Like, just like he's
I
not
want to
gonna do
see
it, so.
if they're going movie, which can bind them. It's a movie. Give me like a Greatest Showman.
This is the
I feel like we have to move in this is
You need a different kind of nostalgia.
like the Mean Girls dance from the beginning of Mean Girls, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Luke,
Like-
you're too old for these dances.
No, I didn't know any of the Disney ones. I'm not gonna lie to
This
you.
is you were
Jeremy
too old
Boswell
for these
out of it.
movies.
Didn't
was out of it
Didn't he do
when they came
Thriller?
out.
Or am I
White
misremembering?
Chick.
Wait,
Okay.
did he do Thriller? I don't think he did.
Thriller's definitely been done.
Previous season.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't
previous
know if it
season
was
I
by
would
us, by the
Yeah.
Vikings.
But yeah,
Bynum
I
has done. They've done dances before, just a little less coordinated, less choreographed.
right. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, this year has the production value for sure. Like,
Yeah,
they got renewed for Netflix season 2. They're spending all their money on, acquiring the rights to dances. It's like really incredible stuff, like great production value. But, I just feel like a lot of us are heading in the wrong direction. It's like it is like a children's movie from the mid '90s to the mid 2000s. I think is kind of where we're aiming ourselves. Now, it's not always the case, right? Because White Chicks, I wouldn't characterize as like a children's movie, but like that's kind
a
of
movie
the
you're
direction.
nostalgic for if you are
Right.
of like Cam Bynum's generation, which is younger than all of us. So
Right.
we're out of our element.
So like even well, I mean, he did do Parent Trap, right? So like there are some
Yeah,
that we
true.
stretch it a little bit, but like I would say that like at the edge of this
Oh.
kind of would be a Mean Girls dance, right?
Aiden Conklin has one in the chat. Cheetah Girls.
Cheetah Girls, what's that?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Missed me with that.
Oh my god.
What is it?
Wow. It's
Perform
another like Disney one from that era.
We'll do it just so we know.
I've not
I don't know.
finished Big
So we know what to
Bull's
look for.
6-hour
It's like a
review
girl.
of
It's
every
the,
Disney
they're like a
Channel
girl
movie,
group,
so-
and that's yeah. That would
Oh
be,
wait, I did actually. That was early in Big Joel's Disney Channel original movie review. So actually, now that you
Oh, the
mention it-
6 hour. Of course, you're
Yeah.
watching the 6 hour monster.
Yeah, I'm only 2.5 hours in, but he did get the Cheetah Girls by then. So I do actually know what you're talking about.
Can you tell that we did a lot of our game preview on Thursday, and that we just need the game? We've talked locker room.
We're only
locker room.
37 minutes in. Oh, this is so bad.
The Vikings will play the Eagles if they win. As Commanders Bucks was playing out last night, was everybody kind of aligned that, well, yeah, let's take on the Eagles, and then maybe we luck into an NFC Championship game at home? Was that the prevailing thought that you guys had?
I just didn't want the team with a bye. That was kind of because both these teams are good,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have to beat them
Yeah,
both on
both
the road.
teams
but
are
let's
so
not take
tough,
one coming
man.
off a bye.
Both
Yeah,
teams are so tough.
I was mostly focused on my takes, and my Jordan Love take turned good, and so I was happy.
Yep.
I really think
Somebody
about it.
asked earlier
That
in
was
the
my
chat-
rooting interest too with Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels. I needed him to go in and win.
Someone
That was
asked
really
earlier
Look
Ever to
fantastic.
win on a playoff game on the road.
the
That's awesome.
Jordan Love
That's
passing
awesome.
left stats. He was 0 for 3 again, deep left.
Got him.
Can't pass left.
Can't pass left. Got him.
Well,
I know that
Can't pass
there was
deep, but I don't think we're ready for that conversation.
technically a Green Bay rooting interest yesterday, but man, like it is just still so
I
satisfying.
don't know. The Eagles
Did you
did not look crazy impressive to
Right.
me.
It was
for
like
the
the best
second
of
half.
both worlds, really.
Yeah.
Did
They
you see
both-
Brett Coleman's stats about Jordan Love's true dropbacks?
Oh, bud, you
Yeah.
better believe I retweeted those.
Oh, baby.
That
Holy
sounds like a great
Analytics fans rejoice it's time to get educated
Whoa, you're blowing my mind right now.
with the nerdy stat of the day.
hit us.
True dropbacks, Jordan Love, including yesterday versus Philly in Philly. So these are non-play action, non-RPO, non-screen pass attempts, just drop back and rip it. Per Brett Coleman, 57% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 15 to 15 touchdown interception ratio, 77.6 quarterback rating. Not great. Not great.
Yeah.
Kazank
into my
in the
veins.
chat. A Reeves Jordan Love take is more from a Wentz to a Purdy, and now it's a Trubisky take. that is a
Wow,
deep
good career
familiarity
arc.
with how I treat quarterbacks. That's nuts to me.
That is a very good description of Jordan Love's career arc.
Yeah.
So the Packers end their
love
year
it.
getting essentially blown out by the Vikings. I don't care what the final score was. Then they
Yeah.
lose to their bitterest rival when it meant nothing to the bitterest rival. In
That's always
really
the worst.
hilarious fashion. And then that yesterday, 4 turnovers, including 3 love picks.
First play of the game, too.
Fumble on the opening kickoff.
Ugh.
Yeah. I'll take my chances at Philly.
Regular Justin Herbert. Yeah, no, for sure.
I understand that they've got Saquon Barkley, but you know what? The Lions have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's also really good, and their passing game is way better than Philly's.
And they might get Montgomery back, by the way.
Correct.
Oh,
I will take my
Yeah.
chances with Barkley and the bookworm, A.J. Brown.
People got upset about that.
You have to
too.
be both.
They were like, "Why is
You
he
gotta
reading
be
a book
both.
on the sideline? Like, who cares?"
Although I am excited about this Washington-Detroit game. I just think
Yeah, unless
it's gonna
Washington
be
pulls
fun.
an upset, you're
Yeah.
gonna have to beat both, and it's a matter of which order you want them in. Which is why I'm like, you know what? Yeah, give me the team that's not coming off a bye. I do not want the Lions like fresh and rested.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lions will probably win that one for sure. I don't know what the spread's going to be, 5, 6, 7, something like that.
8.5.
But Jaden Daniels is going to make them
7 to 8.
work for every ounce that they have. I mean, they're going to make them. He's going to make them sweat them out for sure. Just watching Jaden this year, especially the last month of the season, fourth quarter, Jaden has been spectacular. Luke, I think you mentioned it, first rookie to go win a road playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited for that matchup.
Hey, Macho Meach has a good question in chat for you, Sam. Do you see that? How did Russ play this weekend?
Didn't give up. He didn't give up.
He's got
that's the
heart,
thing you're looking for.
grit,
Yeah,
Hot.
fire,
Great hot.
soul.
stick to itiveness. Yeah, that was the quality you were.
He's got all the
housing at the
characteristics.
beginning of the
Captain
year.
Planet, wind, earth, fire, water.
Arif, why don't you look?
Heart. You've got heart. Come on.
Right. Well, yeah.
I'll give my nerdy stat. Arif, why don't you look up the final line on Darnold versus Wilson? Again, it was EPA,
Regular season total EPA.
EPA, PFF grade, I think, and what adjusted net yards per attempt.
Yeah.
You look
Or
that up.
adjusting that yards.
Okay. My nerdy stat. I just want to remind folks that the Vikings are trying to do something in this postseason that has not been done since 1987. Win multiple playoff games. Defies my brain that hasn't happened with the teams that they have fielded.
Okay,
Think of
It's
all
so
the-
dumb that you can
like-
make the NFC Championship game and be like, oh, 1-1 in the playoffs. You're a
Yeah,
500
I
team,
hate-
really.
Okay, you should just get the win for the bye.
You should just
they should-
count
in the
getting the
official
bye as a
record
playoff
book,
win.
You get to count that as a playoff win. I hate that.
Yeah, like looking at the 1998 team and being like, huh, one playoff win. It's such a stupid.
You know what's stupid? That they didn't win the game. Should have won the game.
Well, that
You know,
also, in addition, yes.
you're a little bit robotic, by the way, Arif.
God, okay.
You know I don't know if I've ever said this out loud. When I reflect on the 98 game, I'm almost more inclined to be mad at the fumble before halftime more so than the final kick that Anderson missed. Just because that is a 7-point swing. You still had a chance to stop him in regulation after the missed kick. You had the ball twice in overtime. I'm just mad that they let a 13-point lead at halftime slip away. That's what angers me about that game. Maybe the most.
Yep. They got very beat up over the course of that game,
Yeah.
and the Denny Green timeout snafu, I think, is the thing that.
You know, something just watching playoff football this weekend, I would love for the Vikings to go get just a stud defensive tackle, some interior pressure. I mean, watching Philly with Jordan Davis, Cansey was great, but Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, even Washington with the Illinois kid that we liked went in the first round.
Newton?
Yes. Yep. Newton from Illinois. Plus they got Jonathan Payne and some other guys, but just a lot of physical trenches. And we talked about that after the Super Bowl last year, Sam. I think you said, what are some characteristics of these Super Bowl teams? Maybe it was 2 years ago after the Chiefs-Eagles game. But obviously trenches, man. Trenches are huge.
It's very nice to have a Fletcher Cox, but the types that are only pass rushers on the interior are so exploitable that I've grown to
not
hate
just
them.
pass. No, you need a 3
Like,
down.
we need the pass rushing.
No,
Okay, yeah,
3
take your
down type of guy.
Hercules Mataafa to the bank, but like you need somebody that can kind of do it.
I mean, okay, that's a little bit unfair. I mean, he couldn't actually rush the passer either. It turns out.
Hey,
You can't do that.
Taki Taimani coming back tonight. Is that the X factor? Taki?
Is he back or is he just?
He practiced.
Is he back
all week.
on?
He practiced.
He practiced in full all week, but can they take him off of IR right now?
Too late to make the move, or can they still?
Yeah, I don't know how the rules work.
If he's not been activated from his window, I guess
he has.
that would need to
the
happen.
window has opened. The window opened early this week because he's been on the practice.
Yeah. He very easily just could have been a healthy scratch anyway. It might not. It might not matter.
That was how Jalen Redmond's been working. Yeah.
Correct.
I would healthy scratch Tillery though over either of those two guys.
Really?
That's not too shocking.
Did I overlook a nerdy stat? Oh, Arif, you were gonna. Okay, let's get this over with. Rip the Band-Aid. Sam Darnold versus my guy,
Your guy,
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Final season stats.
Okay.
And what?
So,
and hey, just in the spirit of things, let's give. You're giving totals, right? Can we also give the rate? Can we also give?
Yeah, I was going to do that primarily because the rates also make me look better. So got you. Don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in total EPA, Sam Darnold ranks 14th and Russell Wilson ranks 22nd. That is 87.2 total EPA added versus 7.9 total EPA. I said EPA added. That's like ATM machine. Sorry about that. But in EPA per play, Sam Darnold also beats Russell Wilson 0.127 to 0.019. Actually, a pretty significant gap there. In adjusted net yards, total adjusted net yards, Sam Darnold ranks 5th in the NFL, 4,145 adjusted net yards. Russell Wilson ranks 22nd, 2,357.9. Also in rate, Sam Darnold also beats Russell Wilson 6.99 to 6.39. That is ranked 10th to ranked 15th. And in PFF grade, in overall PFF passing grade, Sam Darnold ranks 9th and Russell Wilson ranks 14th. And in total PFF grade, Sam Darnold ranks 11th and Russell Wilson ranks 21st. So in both rate and volume, you lost in all three of the categories that we had decided upon to adjudicate this.
Okay.
Well, it was looking better
That
until
went well.
the December that December
Sam
kind
Bird.
of
Yeah, and until we had like a real sample size, it started looking pretty bad. Yeah, when teams started playing Russell Wilson. Yeah, for sure.
For mine, I'll tack on to mine, but the Steelers in weeks 15 to 17, which is kind of when this happened, and I pulled that for the Rams because that was the stretch of 3 games that they didn't have 20 points. But in that same stretch, the Steelers were the 3rd worst offense in the league. Just to sort of tack on to that, but the Rams dead average in terms of EPA per play offensively. The points didn't come. There were some red zone issues. There were some fluky things to that. I wouldn't look at that stretch and be like, oh, the Rams are totally falling apart. They're still doing a lot of things well. They're running the ball well, and Matt Stafford is still very much good for the most annoying play you will ever see in your life. Probably going to rattle off a couple of those tonight. So like that will happen. You just have to overcome and win it anyways.
Yeah, and then we'll see someone tweet out, if Mahomes did it.
Yeah.
Will Darnold
I miss
have
Stafford? I miss Stafford being like he's only 25 years old jokes when he would do stuff
That
like
was
that. I think
fun.
that'd be real good when he's 36. I think.
I tried that joke and no one got it, and I was like, okay, we're at the end of an era. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got one more. Vikings blitz at the highest rate in the league. We know that 45% of the time. Obviously, that means, okay, quarterback's got to get the ball out quick. On the flip side, Matt Stafford targets Puka 45% of the time when opposing defenses blitz. That's also the highest rate in the NFL. So maybe you're looking for a fun little prop if you want to get a little nuts. I think there's potential for a double-digit reception game for Puka in the works tonight. Maybe even something crazy like 13, 14, 15 targets on top of that too. So especially if this game does get high scoring and both teams, climb or creep near to, 30 points and this turns into a shootout. So Puka, watch out on the blitz.
Puka's over under 7.5 receptions for 91.5 yards.
bad dad joke with actually a pretty good question. Double or nothing, will Darnold have a better game than Russ? And the Russ game decent statistically, 270, 2 TDs, no picks, and a rating of 121.3. Kind of tough to beat, actually.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
What a
double
garbage
or
time
nothing
filter
that
would
one.
do there.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
'Cause that was very much too little too late.
Jim Parker, Mike Tomlin would love to have Darnold, little like Big Ben. I can't say that that's crazy. I can't say that the Steelers are not a contender for his services.
I don't like that fit.
Yeah,
I don't like a classically conservative and like responsible team for Darnold. You need somebody who's totally insane. He needs to go to wherever Flores gets a job, and then they need to go like hyper aggression again. That's
well,
like why this
Arthur
has worked
Smith
with Darnold.
too. I mean, that's a downgrade if there ever was one.
Yeah, you got to have a coach that like won't bench him when he throws 3 picks in a game.
Yeah.
Like that has to be part of this. I don't know if the Steelers are that kind of team.
It's a good question. I have no idea, but
Or they're not the kind of team that would like continue. It's not even don't bench him, but to like not start just calling a bunch of screens and saying, "Oh, our
Right.
quarterback's
I think-
off today."
I think-
Like let's.
that's a coaching issue more than because I think from a personnel perspective, it's a decent fit. I mean, Calvin Austin, George Pickens are exactly YOLO guys.
It's
So
it's like
yeah.
I don't even want to call it a culture issue because the Steelers have a good culture. But it's like not.
It's just not a good cultural fit, you know.
Like you need to call like a shot play after 2 consecutive interceptions. Like you need that particular brand of insanity. And Mike Tomlin's
I will say that
that guy.
Right. It is funny for us to say something is quote unquote not a good cultural fit for maybe the first time in our lives to deny a white guy a job. So I do like the way this discourse has kind of evolved. It's just not a good cultural fit. I don't know what to say.
This is the thesis of the article that I wrote on Wide Left about Sam Darnold and how you kind of just have to be crazy.
Yeah,
for him
speaking
to
of
work out.
cultural fits, your piece with Charles Lindbergh in it. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. On Wide Left. Yep.
Everybody click on the link I just put in the private chat. Go to the scoregami chart.
Origami.
I want a final
You
score
want us to
prediction.
pick a scoregami?
I want
A
you to
final
pick
scoregami prediction?
a
Incredible.
final scoregami for tonight. I am going to go 25-18. And this happened yesterday. No, sorry, 2 days ago. 32-12 with Chargers Texans. That was a scoregami.
41-39. Vikings win. They don't cover the 2.5.
Oh my gosh. That's great. That's great.
32-22. Vikings win, and I got to pick a scoregami. That's my analysis.
32-22. Inman, I
I'll
think
go-
you got to go 41-40. I think 39.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it 1.5 now?
No, I mean, I think
No.
41-39
for
is
score.
not a
Okay.
scoregami.
Fair enough.
That still
Yep,
would
yeah,
not
yeah,
cover
yeah.
the 2.5.
Yep.
I'll go with 36-29. Plenty of scoring, still a 1 touchdown game.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Missed extra points in there or something. I don't know.
Let's review the parlays before we conclude. So again, $100 parlay, really no limits on legs or odds. Braun, you've got Nakua 70+ yards, Hawkinson 40+ yards, Kyron Williams anytime TD plus 310. That's fairly conservative compared to Arif, who goes Nakua
We got
over.
3 of the same legs though.
Yeah, well, yeah. So if I hit my legs, Luke hits his. So I have to hit the other 2 legs.
Yeah.
Braun took the more conservative alt lines though, so there's a sweet spot where
That's what I
Nakua
mean.
could hit for Braun.
You could
And
get
not
exactly
41 on
yeah.
Hawkinson.
There could be exactly 41 Hawkinson yards, which I would win mine, but not yours.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
So I hate my parlay now that I'm looking at it. I don't know what I was thinking. I think the fact that I couldn't parlay the Vikings to win by 1-6, which has been my bread and butter. Everybody knows that.
Right,
I couldn't use that in a parlay. I don't know if I just went on tilt and just
You're
picked
just
some
off
random.
your game.
I do not. The fact that Addison has to get 5 or more catches and Cup and Darnold has to. Okay, I mean that's a 50-50 coin flip, but that only pays 310 plus 310. I hate my parlay. I can't stand it. So just letting you
All right,
guys
so what
know
are the
that.
other? So Sam, can you identify all the legs of my parlay?
Nakua over 85.5, Stafford over 235.5, Hawkinson over 41.5, Aaron Jones over 59.5, anytime Kyron Williams touchdown.
Man,
Plus 1460.
What,
Well,
you
it's,
don't
okay.
like these
I thought we had to construct a plus 1,000 parlay, and so that's what I went in with. And when I found out live on air that was actually not a rule, and I had made that up in my brain, I didn't
No idea.
pivot.
You couldn't alter it. Yeah.
Yeah,
too
I was
late.
like, yeah.
It's all right. It's aggression. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm Sam Donald, baby. Let's go.
I am.
What a way to
keying-
die.
That Kyron anytime TD, I think, is going to mess up both of yours. I'm keying Cooper Kupp total yards and first quarter yards, and I'm keying Jalen Naylor total yards and first quarter yards. So the Jalen Naylor first quarter catch is going to be that's the big one. If we hit that, we're in business, baby.
This is like
I don't think
this
you're
is like
guaranteed to
uncut
get
gems
Kupp
when you got
work in
KG,
the
a
first
6-leg
quarter.
KG, but you got to win the tip. You got to win the
Right.
tip just to keep the thing alive right away. Okay.
Right. And spoiler alert,
All right.
at the end of the game, I probably die. That's probably how this
Spoiler
all
alert. Yep.
how this ends.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
how this ends for all of
Sam,
us.
how are we covering the Super Bowl bet if all four of us lose? Do we just pitch in?
It's who loses by
Like
the
if
most.
no one ever,
I think
like, we
I
would
think
all-
if
we would
nobody
all have
wins a
to miss
parlay,
every
it just goes to Luke because he won the betting contest.
Well, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fair. And that's fair.
The
I
regular
mean,
season.
that's, I don't have a problem with that.
week. Should we?
Well, I mean, right? I mean,
We could count correct legs if we want correct legs, although that'd be a little too easy to game that system. Someone's going to win. Someone's going to win one of the next 3 weeks. We got 12 opportunities.
All
Right?
we're
Right?
insanely confident in
Whatever
our-
you say, dude.
Yeah, we are professional. Yeah.
It's
you're
just parlays. Yeah. Someone has to win.
Surely.
Parlays get
right.
12 in a row.
Nobody's ever
Yeah.
lost 9 parlays in a row.
Yeah, certainly nobody did that in the betting contest last year. Nobody went 1-15 all
And
year.
that
long.
is why we didn't do parlays this year, because nobody won them. Here's the
That was
schedule.
amazing.
Postcast tonight. Braun, Ron, myself, and Inman. Ron tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday we'll have parties, and we will give everything you need to know about Vikings Eagles or stupid off. I'm not ready for the
End of
off season
recap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Season
I'm
recap.
not ready.
And then we
Let's
start talking about
review.
Sam Darnold contract extension numbers.
Oh boy.
Great.
For-
I'm
for-
so happy to
Oh,
have that
boy.
conversation for like the next 2
Yeah.
months. That
Yeah, just
I
one
mean,
more
You know
week.
what I'm really glad
One more
about
week.
is that we've had something worth talking about for the last month or two, because if the Vikings were like
Yeah.
out of it, this would start to become really annoying, and it would have been annoying by like Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least
Like,
at least if the Vikings were out of it, we wouldn't have the Sam Darnold contract conversation. So one or the other, right?
Are you sure? Because I don't put it past. We talked about Justin Jefferson trades for a year and a half. Okay, the stupidest thing that will happen can absolutely come dominate a show like this, and there's nothing any of us can do about it. A year and a half of Justin Jefferson trade talks
I don't-
because Mike
it-
Florio got lied to and doesn't realize it.
I don't
Mike
like it when Braun has
Also-
a point. That's like the worst possible world.
Mike Florio also thinks we're going to see Daniel Jones starting a playoff game.
Yeah, because he got lied to and he doesn't realize it. This is what happens to him. He just runs with it.
In
when
what
the
Starting?
Vikes
What do you mean
win,
starting? I don't understand what starting here means. Like
I always
Because
thought it was
Darnold
announced he
got
was going to be
injured?
the emergency QB.
no,
No, like
so
a possible
Flo-
benching
Florio,
because he's on the active roster now.
Florio thought that if the Vikings win, but Sam Darnold struggles, that Jones could start. Right? That was the point of the
that was
tweet?
the. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's remarkably stupid. How do we think that O'Connell got Darnold to the dance? Like that doesn't make sense. That's not how he's treated Darnold. That I don't. Because like in my brain,
Yeah.
the only way this happens is if he's predicting a Darnold injury, which is grim and specific.
Yeah, because he's not a reporter worthy of your respect. That's what happened.
Inman, I think you were sitting.
Well,
in
I got no
confused-
pushback.
no, I was just going to ask, when the Vikings win, what time do they play the Eagles? What day? Saturday, Sunday?
Oh yeah, 2:00 Sunday.
Sunday.
2:00 Sunday. Tarico and Collinsworth.
So Eagles would have 1 day of rest advantage there.
They would. They would. Yeah. Do you guys like the Monday night playoff game? I could do without it. I think I'd rather see a triple header Saturday, triple header Sunday. I understand why the league does it. Does feel like a disadvantage, but the Rams did win the Super Bowl from this spot 3 years ago with the Monday night game.
think if they do go into Philly and they get the crap kicked out of them, I don't think we're all going to be like, but what if they had another day of rest?
No, not at all. Well, Vikings had a day of rest over Detroit last week, and we got the snot kicked out of us, so it doesn't really matter. But
it's maybe a small advantage, but small advantages exist
No, I just want to know what time they play.
Got home field, maybe that's a small advantage.
So what time do they play?
I don't know. Overcome.
2:00 Sunday. Putting it in the calendar.
It says Thursday night playoff games.
Won't be long.
They should do Thursday night wild card weekend, Thursday night football between the first and second draft pick.
Ooh.
Oh.
Like the last and the dead last team. Thursday night football. Winner gets the first overall.
Winner gets the first pick.
Winner
right?
gets the first. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Right.
Love
I'm
that.
sure players would be overjoyed to participate in that game.
Right.
Yeah. Nobody tell the unions I said that.
What are you guys excited for in this next round? Josh
Classic
Allen
with
versus
Braun
Lamar.
sentence.
Oh my God, yeah.
Wow.
That's got to be
one of those teams has to lose. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Only one team gets to
I'm
play
like
the Chiefs.
I'm not jazzed for the Chiefs game. Like who cares about Chiefs Texans?
Correct.
Yeah.
Like
what's the spread on
We're
that?
entering Patriots territory of like getting the 1 seed every year, and then there's like the tradition of a divisional round dismantling of some like AFC also ran where you get like Patriots, and a lot of times it was the Texans when it was the Patriots like like annihilating Bill O'Brien or like Matt Schaub's Texans.
Yeah, and it's like if this was like a Death Star Chiefs team, I'd be like more into it, I guess. I could watch the first half. But this Chiefs team is just like uninspiring. I'm sure they'll win. And it's just I just wish the Ravens Bills game was the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
I just like that is
Absolutely.
what
I feel robbed.
we deserve
absolutely
for being
it's just like
good
the Chiefs
people.
Bills that crazy game they had a couple years ago that would have even been crazier if it was obviously the AFC Championship game. Did you know there's only like 4 or 5 teams that haven't scored or didn't score 30 points or more in any game this year? And the Chiefs are one of those teams. It's like the Browns, it's the Raiders, it's another crappy offense, and then the Chiefs.
I would love to see like a Fugazi. What if the Texans like frauded their way into a win here?
I would love it. Yeah, 8-point spread. Give me
With like a doinked and Harrison Butker kick at the end, and they just got like super lucky, and it's like aha, regression.
all the karma. Yeah, all luck regression.
Yeah.
What was the last, if you can think of it, last mega playoff upset that you can recall where like people were stunned by the outcome?
San Francisco, Green Bay, 2021. I'm trying to think of a more recent one than that.
Yes.
What was the
Good.
Ravens like 4th and 22, 4th and 29?
The Jacoby Jones play against the Broncos?
No, it was Ray Rice.
Oh boy, that was way long. I also think of one of the Ravens getting beat by the Titans in 2019.
Oh, that was crazy. Yeah,
that one was wild. That one made me feel, because that was right after the Vikings lost to the 49ers. It was like, cool, we didn't get the worst day today. All right,
yeah,
great.
that was the most. Yeah,
we didn't get the worst day.
Somebody else is going to get all the headlines, and people are just going to kind of quietly forget that the Vikings played this one. Sweet.
I felt worse. I was like, oh, it is legal to be a competitive divisional road team. Oh, okay, you can actually go and put up a fight against a good team on the. All right, okay, that's how I felt.
You still found a way to be bitter about an AFC company. Okay.
The Packers destroying the Cowboys last year. That was
the
spread was wild. Like, that was
I hated that.
Like, people, I think, kind of always have felt that, you get Dak Prescott in the playoffs, all kinds of bad things can happen to them. But like, nobody saw that
was still like a
crazy.
Nuts, yeah.
Has a
it was like an up and down Packers team that people were still kind of like, are they really gonna? Okay, I guess they're in the playoffs. I guess. Wow! They just destroyed them.
Was that a 7th seed Packer team? I'm just wondering if a 7th seed. It was okay.
It's the only. This
Only
is I
7 seed to
so
win?
badly did not. I remember in 2022 and we were the 2 seed for a while, and I so badly did not want to be the first team to go get beat by a 2nd seed, and then the Cowboys did it the next year, and they remain the only. I saw a graphic that was like, here are all the teams that have lost to a 7 seed, and it's just the Cowboys stars. Like, thank God that was not that the Vikings
that started all.
Whoever
Jordan
came
Love.
up with the idea for that graphic, props. That's incredible work.
Yeah, it was just like Fox NFL too. Like, it was like, man, the like mainstream people are getting in on it. Oh. Ouch. Yeah.
Get dunked
like
on.
getting dunked on by Ian Rappaport, man. Like, that hurts.
All right. Okay.
Felt like this was going to be the most competitive wild card round yet, and it was not. Has not been that.
I think
good
also we've just gotten so much good football this year. I think we've had more good weekends of football this year than
and
we've
great
had the
playoff
previous
football
3
the last
seasons.
couple of years too. There's been some great playoff football the last couple of years too.
Incredible
Yeah.
streak of awesome
I'd take a
games.
laugher tonight. If it goes the right way, I would accept that as well. Who cares what people think about the blowout? But I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be a barn burner. I think that you're going to be chewing your nails and white knuckling it all the way through. Good luck to everybody watching. Hang in there. We will have full coverage this week at Locked On Sports Minnesota. Thanks a lot
Game
for
time.
watching, listening, subscribing, commenting. We will talk to you soon. See ya.